For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise. And you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thanks for tuning in on your favorite podcast app. How's it going today? You know what's great is that this podcast is free, so everybody can afford to waste 30 minutes with Jeremy Bradley here. Now, that's a play on words, because what we're talking about today is, it's really just a hot button issue for everybody, because the cost of everything is going up. No matter where you turn, you're going to be paying more for whatever it is. Whatever it is. Just not the air that you're breathing, though. That seems to still be okay. It's the groceries. It's the gas. It's the clothing. It's the food delivery. It's whatever it is. Whatever it is, you're paying more for it. And then your opinion is, well, why isn't my salary, why isn't my paycheck going up as quickly as all the price of everything else is, right? So I'm a best-selling author who wrote a book about being cheap and saving money and really kind of looking at where I was spending and how I was spending. And for the next 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, here's, again, free information for you. I'm just going to give you some food for thought about grocery shopping, online ordering, all that fun stuff. And really, is it worth it to pay a fee just to be a customer? That privilege of giving you my money. Should you have to pay a fee for that? Well, we're going to talk about that on The Scribble, and it starts right after this.
This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secret to losing 3 to 5 pounds a week without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt RX. For the last 2 decades, we've helped countless people lose thousands of pounds. And now, it's your turn. Learn how to lose weight with one simple phone call and no prescription needed. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a risk-free money-back guarantee. So, if you're ready to start losing weight, call right now and get a free month supply with your first order of Body Sculpt RX. Call now. You have nothing to lose but the pounds. 800-459-6838. 800-459-6838. 800-459-6838. That's 800-459-6838.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer. Save the money, save the hassles, and get the better blue pill. Dial 800-578-0179. That's 800-578-0179. 800-578-0179.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on The Scribble. Let's talk about the prices of stuff, okay? Because everybody, I think every other day on the news, if not every day, there's a story about, the gas prices going up, the prices of groceries, the cost of living, all this other stuff. And I'm not denying it. I'm certainly not saying that, there's, whether it's supply chain, it's inflation, it's this, it's that. You almost kind of want to just go and say, just lower the prices. Why just, if everybody just kind of and so there was a post on Facebook that kind of prompted this discussion. So one of my friends says, I'm not going to name the restaurant, but it says, I've been able to accept your higher prices for years now. He's addressing a restaurant. The freshness and quality has always been top notch, but now, holy cow, $9 for a double cheeseburger, $4.50 for small fries, and $5.50 for a small strawberry shake. This is over the line for me, the guy who loves burgers. More than $20 for this? Nope, I'm out. I get the economy is jacked up and everything is messy right now, but ground beef and bread and plastic cheese are not that jacked up. Please stop. Again, I've been a fan and could justify the higher prices for the quality, but not anymore. Bye. And then he tags the restaurant, and he's got a picture of his receipt that shows, $8.99 for a burger, fries, a small fry, $4.49, milkshake, $5.49, order total $20.54. Now, of course, this leads to a whole comment, right, a whole discussion thread, because you've got people who are justifying that and saying, well, you also have the people that are going and saying, maybe you should eat healthier, which I love, because that was my sort of initial thought. I'm like, well, maybe you could just buy lettuce and have a salad at home, Anyway, but the bigger picture is that the price of everything is going up. And so, I get it. We've all felt the pinch. I've also kind of drawn a line in the sand. I've put my foot down when it comes to the prices of things. Not the odd time. My mom regularly calls, now that she's retired, she will regularly call me to go grocery shopping with her, or, go for a walk or something like that. And so I have several times in the past few months gone grocery shopping with my mom. And, remember, I'm a best-selling cheapskate author. I wrote a book, I guess it's about 9 years ago now, about how to save money, creatively save money, spend, and people have made fun of me for many, many years, but I'm still kind of the expert. I'm the go-to person locally for when the media or, a news channel or station or show needs the authority on saving money. And I've been confronted at book signings in the past by people going, you're everything that's wrong with the economy. You just have all your money under your mattress. And they honestly don't understand what my book is about. The book is about how you can cut costs and save so that you have more money to spend. The book is not telling you be a tight ass and don't do anything with your money. It's saying change this, do this, and you can then spend frivolously on that vacation or on that new toy that you want to get or just whatever it is. But the book is not telling you don't spend money. And so let's go on the subject of restaurants then, right? Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. The delivery app thing is kind of one of the biggies. That's something where, yes, you have the convenience because the food is being brought to you, and I get it. Think back about 10 or 15 years ago. I remember this. You did not have to pay to have your pizza delivered to you. There was not a delivery fee. Anybody who's old enough, maybe you don't remember this, but I certainly do. You did not have a delivery fee when your pizza was coming to you. You ordered it, it was brought to you, that was it. And then when the gas prices went up, now I'm from Canada, so when the gas prices for that first time ever went over $1 a liter, that was suddenly when everybody was like, taxi fares are going up. Now you've got a delivery fee for pizza. And that was really the only thing that you were having delivered. That, and I guess maybe Chinese food were really sort of the only options for food delivery back then. And so now, though, with delivery apps, and that's where I've put my foot down and I've said no. And this is why I'm not really a Costco person either, is that I'm not going to pay you a fee to be your customer. I won't do it. I won't. I'm not going to sign up for Amazon Prime and pay you a month no, give me the free shipping as a loyal customer then. That's when I'm not going to pay you $8 a month or however much it is. And same thing with Costco. I'm not going to buy a membership just to shop at your store. It's not that exclusive anymore. It's not. Now, it's a different scenario for somebody who perhaps has a family and can see the savings and can appreciate it feeding a family of 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever. For my particular lifestyle, a Costco membership doesn't make sense. And again, I'm not going to pay you to shop in your store. I'm not going to do it. Same thing with the food delivery apps. If you're charging me a service fee and a delivery fee and expect me to tip, taxes, you just have to charge me that. I get that. But I'm not going to do it. So case in point here, let's talk about a recent food order. I mean, if this guy that I just quoted from Facebook, could you imagine if that was delivery? Now you're adding at least $10 to that meal. And it's happened. So I've done this, and I'm sure, Uber Eats or DoorDash or whoever hate when people do this because you're tricking you're getting the system, you're getting its hopes up thinking, oh, here's another order. And then you end up just going, once you see the price, I'd love to know if you've ever done that, by the way. If you've ever kind of gone through, you've already kind of picked out what your order is going to be, and then you get to that last step, and when you see the final total, you're like, yeah, you know what? Not doing it. Not doing it. Even though I just spent 5 minutes picking my ingredients and all this other stuff, I'm backing away from it. I've done that many, many times. That's, I think, also, by the way, I think how you trick the app to then get offers from them, because there was a brief stretch where I was ordering on Uber Eats, and then now that there's the fee, like there was a fee I saw one time for like $6.99 or $7.99 as a delivery fee. No thank. What is it, being flown in? No. Just because you're driving 10 blocks, that's not $7 worth of gas. That's not. I mean, I guess depending on the gas prices, it could be, but it's not. That's just not realistic. And so that's where I kind of stopped. And then when you don't order for a long time, and I am specifically talking about Uber Eats, I don't know if the other apps do it because I haven't really used them, is you start to get these offers of 75% off your next order. I mean, 75%. When I do the math, and this is where I'll put through the order and then see what the final total will be, I will then accept, in that rare circumstance, I will accept the service fee or delivery fee or, all those fees, because it's still going to be cheaper than if I would have just ordered, on my own or gone to the restaurant or however. So at that point, if I'm getting the menu item that's $29, and if I'm getting it for, a little over 10 with the fees and blah, 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 well, I'm still going to do that, right? But if I'm being charged more above and beyond, if I'm being charged, there was I don't even know what it was. I think it was a chicken burger I was going to order one time. The chicken burger combo from a fast food restaurant. Let's say it ended up being a $12, item on the menu. And I remember it then being about $27 after everything. So yes, you are paying for the convenience. I get it, and you're paying the restaurant, you're paying the app for using it, you're paying the driver for bringing it to you. I get it that everybody needs their cut, but that's where, as the consumer, especially now with the prices of everything going up, that's where, as the consumer, you need to sit there and go, I can only have one argument. If I'm gonna bitch about the price of everything going up, then I can't bitch about how much it's costing to have my convenience food order delivered to me, right? Like, you kind of have to pick your side on that one. And so that's where I'll go and say, I'm not going to complain about the prices going up and then complain about having somebody, bring me my food as though I'm too good to, leave the house and go somewhere, right? You got to pick your side. So you've got your, again, let's say $12 chicken burger meal, and then you've got your delivery fee of $4.99. You've got your service fee of, again, $3 or $4. You've got your driver tip. So again, you're looking at 2 or 3 or 4. Now, also look at one thing to consider. I'm not a math person, but think about what your tip is on, right? If your tip is being added to the service fee that you're paying, why is that, right? You wouldn't, when you're going to a restaurant, your tip should be based on the total of your food bill. Isn't that how it goes, right? It's based, if, my bill came to $40, $50, whatever, I'm tipping based on the bill. So if your tip is being added, look at how it's calculated. If it's being tacked on to the overall total, which is going to include either a service fee or whatever, then think about that. Now, now people are going to email me and say, wow, you got to tip the drivers. It's their vehicle, it's their guy. You signed up for that job. I'm not even going to get into that argument. You signed up for it. If it pays you shit, that's on you. It really is. I'm sick of hearing about things like that. And then people will fire back and say, well, it's easier said than done just to leave a job, blah, blah. No, then that's not the case anymore. We know right now that this is an employee's market. Companies can't fill the jobs. There's no shortage of jobs right now. So I don't buy that excuse. And when I've tweeted about this before, about the whole tipping thing or whatever, delivery food drivers, whatever you call them, have fired back at me and, called me out and said whatever. And, here's how much I make on da-da-da-da. And again, they're probably forever told, well, then get another job. Well, then don't do it. Well, then demand more. Well, then whatever. I mean, that's the thing, right? If I've never appreciated when I've worked in other, offices and when I wasn't the boss, when I hear somebody complaining about how much they make or whatever, my question was always, well, did you say something? Did you kind of did you stand up for yourself? Did you protest this? Did you draw attention to it? Did you kind of put your foot down? Did you? Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. Okay, good. Well, that's professional. That's a good way to be heard and get your way. Yeah. Okay. So you're just going to grumble to the employee? Okay. Good. Yeah. You see where I'm going with this, right? Like if you don't say something, then shut your fucking mouth, because that was something. This is why I've always wanted to be my boss. Quite honestly, I was fired from almost every job that I had back in the day. but and one time I was let go because I did kind of go and say, look, I didn't get a raise on my review. I really stepped up over the past year. And then what that did though was that put my position, my role, my everything under the microscope. And they were kind of like, wait a second, how much are we paying Jeremy? I was the highest paid on our team. And I mean, there's more to the story than that. I mean, I was the only one that was trained for the role they were in. I was a copywriter. I was, a corporate writer. And so that put me in the firing range. And when I drew attention to it, if I would have just kept my mouth shut and didn't have that ego about myself, where I go and say, no, look, I'm worth more. You're going to pay me more. That's where they were like, wait a second, fired for that. But I was let go, let's say. And so, so that's what I'm saying is that as an employee, then you can stand up for yourself. You can go and say, I deserve more. I'm not going to do this job. You've always had that opportunity. I get it. It's scary if you have kids and I have bills too, but that's where you need to be that grown. If you can't bitch about your salary or what you're paid if you're not going to say anything. If you do speak up and you're told no, then what's to say that you can't go home that night or when work is done and Google on your phone or look up jobs and whatever and apply for another job then? I mean, if you feel that you're worth more and you're being taken advantage of and you're being screwed over and you're being whatever, however you want to describe it, that's on you to do something about it. You can finger point and say that companies are cheap and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Here's the thing. If you were willing to do the job for that pay, that's on you. And again, going back to that office I was talking about was, I had to end up working with one of my coworkers side by side for a couple of projects. And so we would end up having to leave our regular work area. We went into a different office. We went into a different meeting room to work on this project together. And that was always his biggest complaint is that, industry standard for my kind of job is da-da-da-da-da. I'm not even being paid, I'm being paid $8,000 less and blah, blah, blah. So I would humor him by kind of listening because it was entertaining for me. I knew that I was overpaid for what I was doing there anyway. And, he's got this gripe and whatever. And you kind of sit there and go, well, you're not really qualified for the role. You were kind of just sort of put into it. So that's one thing. And then two, you're complaining to me. I have no power. I have no say. I have no authority. I have no, did you say something to the boss? Oh, well, did you talk to somebody in HR? Oh, well, did you? Hey, then shut up then, okay? So you either do the job and keep your mouth shut, or you leave. You leave. So going back to this whole price thing, that's where as a consumer, I will go and put my foot down and say, I'm not paying fees. I'm not going to pay it. I'm not going to pay it. My mom grocery shopping, she's like, well, you have to eat. Yeah, but this is where you can find alternatives though. This is where maybe it'll get bacon at $7 a package. Well, I love bacon. I'll be the first to admit that. But at the same time, I will put my foot down and go, I don't need it that badly. I don't need it that bad. Sure, I get the prices of vegetables and things like that. The necessities, right? The good food, but the bag of chips is going to be cheaper. This is where people can make those smart decisions and really look at where they're spending. My dad eats a lot of junk food, so I kind of laugh at my mom when I see her buying, pepperoni and jelly beans and barbecue peanuts and all these things. And I just look at that and go, you're going to complain about the prices of everything, but you are kind of buying the stuff that you don't need. Sure, if it's milk and all the, kind of the essentials, fine. I get that you can have an issue with the prices of that, but it's kind of like, oh no, your precious jelly beans are more expensive. That's where you kind of look at things, right? I mean, that's where I'll go and say, yeah, I don't really need that bacon. I'll pass. And then on the flip side of that, this is where, again, you always have to kind of look because everybody's the victim in all this, right? It's the grocery stores that are having to pay more. It's the companies that are making it that have to pay more. It's the, everybody, it's costing more for everybody. And so you don't want to go and say, well, it's the grocery store that, stick it to them by putting your foot down and not spending. I get that the mom and pop grocery store, it's going to cost them more than it will, for Walmart to get this stuff trucked in. But then that's where you send a message to Walmart and be like, yeah, I'm not going to pay. And what's interesting now is going to the stores, when you go to the meat section or whatever it is, depending on the company, the chain, you will see those stickers of these markdowns. We got to clear out this meat. Take me home tonight. 50% off, reduced, must go, whatever, however they word it. And when you see more of that happening, I look at that of one of two things. Well, as a few things. Either those are customers going and saying, no, I'm not paying that. There was a package of chicken breasts that I saw at the store. It was like a club pack, they call it. So you had 8 of them or something. It was $40. And they had so many of them marked down to 30%, and even then people still weren't buying them. So even though, again, a chicken product arguably is good for you, it's not, whether it's injected with hormones or water or whatever the hell it is, a chicken breast is generally healthy. And that's where consumers are like, no thanks, we're good. We're good. So it begs the question, if it's supply chain, why are there 20 of them in the refrigerator case marked down? It's not supply chain. You can't go and say that, well, we didn't have enough of them. So no, they're all sitting. You do have plenty of them, and nobody wants them. So there's an issue there. There's an issue with your pricing. And big companies like those chains, Walmart, etc., they can afford to take the hit. They can afford to take the hit. It's interesting, too, because our company has a swimwear line, and we order the product from China. I'll be upfront. I'll be open about this. And when you're charging a customer, $40 for a product that you pay $4 or $5 for, that's gouging them if you have to start marking up like that. We did not. We have not marked up the prices. Our prices, yes, the cost of the product for us has gone up. That has gone up. To have it delivered to North America and whatever, it's gone up. We have not adjusted the price accordingly, though. We have not done that. The postal rates have gone up for us to ship things as well. But we have not upped the price of swimsuits. We have kind of that limit, that threshold of this is the mark. We're not going higher than this price point. And now, again, if it starts to cost us $25 to get a swimsuit, sure. But when you're paying $4, that's just greedy at that point. Really, it is. When your margin is already 70 or 80%, you're doing okay. And so that's something that I've had my eyes open to in the last 2-3 years now that I've seen pricing and the product ordering and how the whole process works. So I kind of then harken back to this whole, okay, grocery chains then. Let's look at this. And is it really costing that much? Because when I get the flyer and I see that, chicken breasts are on sale for such and such price, well, how are you able to do it this week for a limited time, but not keep the price at that point on a regular basis, right? Because you're going to entice people in to buy it when it's on sale like that. But I've always seen that interesting. How does the box of crackers every other week be a certain price, let's say, $3, and then suddenly I can get 4 of them for $8? Well, you have to ask yourself that as the consumer. That mathematically just doesn't make sense. So because I'm buying more of them, I'm getting it for cheaper per item. Now I've also had an issue with this where it's like buy more, save more. No, that's not true. Let's break down what that actually means. You're saving more if you are only buying 1. Because if you didn't need 3, you're spending more than you actually wanted or needed to. So that's one thing. Now, this is, again, things that my consumer book or whatever you want to call it points out to people. So just because you're paying less per item, sure, but buy more, save more. That is so disingenuous. That's so incorrect. I mean, it's correct to a point, right? It's correct with an asterisk, but it's really not. Because if you're making me buy 4 of them just to get the lower price, no. Now, people in their heads will go and say, oh, well, they're only $2 each then if I buy 4 of them. But did you need 4 of them? If you did not need 4 of them, you are spending more because you weren't planning on getting it. You weren't planning on getting it. So you're being duped. You're believing that you're saving more, but then you just buy the one for $3 then. Buy the one for $3 because then you're saving 5 by not buying more. But that's where the logic is, well, I'm getting more of them, so I might as well. Well, then, there you go. Now you've just increased your shopping bill. So there you go. I love getting the stickers. I love going to the store. I hate actual shopping at the mall or something like that, but I love going to the grocery store. And people hate going grocery shopping with me because I can be there for an hour and a half looking and going and putting things back, grabbing this, looking for those stickers, and making a game of it and seeing how much I can save. I enjoyed that. Because again, I will go and buy the thing of chicken breasts and stick it in the freezer then for the next month or however long it is, even though the best before date. And don't even get me started about best before dates. Look that up if you just think, uh-oh, it goes bad tomorrow. No, it doesn't. Because truthfully, I'll get the bag of pre-washed lettuce, which again, you're paying a premium for because the work is already done for you. I get it. But if you can get that $4 item marked down to $2 something, and again, you're getting the salad dressing and croutons or whatever in it as well, I'll buy 4 or 5 of those. Food lasts a very long time in our fridge because we're not opening the door 17 times a day like if we had kids and a whole bunch of people in the house. So that bag of salad that's best before 2 days from now, we can get another week out of that in our fridge. So you have to sort of look at things like that. I've already gone over 20 minutes and we haven't taken a break yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw to commercial. And we'll be back on the Scribble right after this.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
That's not this. All right, Jeremy Bradley here. Sorry, you caught me mid-argument. I was just confronted by one of my teammates here. And earlier in the show, I made a comment and I said, I refuse to be a customer. I refuse to pay a fee to be your customer. And so somebody just challenged me and said, wait a second. You go to concerts with your parents once a year as, Christmas gift or whatever. So let me put that disclaimer or that asterisk and say, yeah, if it's something where I'm doing a gift for my parents and it's a tradition that we have long had for 10, 15 years, am I going to pay the service fee to order the tickets from Ticketmaster? Because it's a gift for my parents? Sure. Would I, if it was my choice and I'm going to go to a show with my husband? No. And in my world, I can go to the publicist or the promoting company or whatever it is and get the free media tickets and not have to pay. So let me just be clear on that. Do I pay a service fee to be a customer? Depending on the situation. If I'm doing something for my mother and father as a gift, as a family tradition, sure. Once a year, I will. Am I an avid concert goer and pay the ridiculous fees just to go in the rafters and watch a performer lip sync to their greatest hits from 20 years ago? No, I will not. But I won't pay the service fee for that, like I said. Anyway, just have to add that. So tell me your thoughts of this whole 30 minutes of money talk. My email address is live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com. So again, just to kind of talk about recap what I mentioned at the top is I'm not saying don't spend your money. I'm saying don't be a stupid spender. And I'm not saying to shove all your money under your mattress. Well, I'll tell you where to shove it. But I'm not saying to do that and not spend. I'm saying, and I almost should have done this before doing the show, is that done a comparison and calculated how much would I have spent at the grocery store if I didn't go all JB on my bill, go JB down every aisle, because that really does. I mean, I would say that on average, I'm saving about $15 or $20 on a grocery bill each time, just because I'm looking for those stickers, I'm looking at the flyers, I'm paying attention to things like that. And also, if these are grocery items that you buy on a regular basis, when the price goes up, you just do. So send me an email, tell me your shopping tips. How have you been saving money over the last little while? The email address is live@jbonair.com. My name's Jeremy Bradley. This is The Scribble. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some real heat,